Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dun Da 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 Throat Chakra. I'm your host, Jamira, but for brand continuity purposes, please feel free in calling me Gem or Jemmstone. Brand continuity. The concept of continuing your brand with the purpose of having a seamless and predictable user/customer experience. By doing so, brands create a culture that customers can identify with. An example of brand continuity in a physical or brick and mortar location would be having each location look exactly the same, no matter where you are in the city, no matter where you are in the country, or around the world. Online, an example would be having your website look similar to your social media profiles. This would continue your brand. And if you are your brand, using your name or the same name for each profile on various social medias, that is Twitter, Instagram, SoundCloud, will continue your brand and create your brand culture. Just a quick sidebar. I went to school for marketing, and I'm going to use any and every opportunity I can to squeeze that knowledge out of my mind because, one, I want to know if I still remember it. But two, knowledge is power. Most people have a social media platform or a social media profile, I should say. So this could be beneficial. You don't need to necessarily be a business to have a brand. Now, today marks a humongous day for me because today is day one of a passion project that I've been so excited but terrified to execute, which is the podcast that you're listening to right now. But before we go any further, I find it absolutely necessary, imperative, for me to state my intentions. Consider this the constitution of throat chakra. Here are the rules. Rule number 1, communicate honestly. Rule number 2, speak your truth. Now I can hear you say it already, but Jamira, brand continuity, but Jemmstone, they sound the same. That's what I initially thought. But as I let it percolate, just ruminate in my mind, I realized that they're kind of different. They're very different, or at least to me they are. Let me tell you the differences. Communicating honestly, for me, feels more technical. And speaking my truth feels more integrity-based, involving courage or some kind of bravery to allow myself to be honest and state what I feel to be true. Communicating honestly feels more about how I present the information that I want to communicate. I'm not sure if you can tell, but I'm a dramatic person, dramatic and theatrical at heart. And I never really had the opportunity to do so or to be that way until recently. And I want to continue this train of allowing this aspect of myself to evolve and take shape because it is so damn fun. When the idea of hosting a podcast was suggested to me by a lovely lady named Shadell, shout out to you, I did not sound like this. This was in 2018. My voice sounds like this right now. I sounded more like this. My voice was more in my throat, in my nose. For those that sing, I don't, but I watch a lot of videos on YouTube. It was like a head voice type of sound, very nasally, very congested. And because I was speaking in this kind of way like this, it had my pitch higher. The tone wasn't as rich as it is now. And my cadence was just way too fast. Everything was off. I sounded like I was in fast forward. And if I were to take this one step further, I would say looking back, my entire life was moving in a fast forward motion. I was walking way faster than normal or faster than my normal. My hips were shifting. It was just such an awkward experience. And I just walked everywhere. So this was a constant experience for me. I walked fast. I operated quickly. I did everything as fast as I could. I was moving in a rush and I was not going anywhere special. Moving in a rush. I also had extremely high expectations of myself, like my pitch so high. I had high expectations of myself and they weren't unachievable, but they just weren't achievable in a comfortable fashion. I was always uncomfortable. My life in general lacked the richness that it has now. And in the moment, I knew it wasn't as rich. It felt quite dull. It lacked the richness because I was just interfering with my authenticity. I was in my way, forcing myself to do things that just did not feel that natural to me. Then one day I was with my big up best friend and I said hi, or let me say it like this, how it really went. Someone I don't like said hi to me. So I didn't want to be rude and I said hi back. And it was one of those, hi, very high pitch. And she brought my attention to it by saying, fake much? And I'm like, oh my God, I am being fake. And ever since then, she was in my mind anytime I would communicate with anybody that I didn't want to. And I'm like, am I speaking higher? I am. I need to seize all communication with anybody that makes me feel this way. And a lot of things have changed in my life. I had to let go of a lot of things that made me uncomfortable because I was surrounded by them. But in a nutshell, my speech really, really mirrored the life that I was living at the time. Hindsight is always 2020. And I am a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. I am glad that all those experiences happened because then I wouldn't have been able to come up with the 2 constitutional rules of throat chakra, which is communicate honestly and speak your truth. I feel like those 2 are a recipe for attracting exactly what you want into your life through your words. I'm going to take it there for a moment and say that everything that is perceived in the 3-dimensional realm, which is our 3D reality, is manifested vibrations. What does that mean? Everything we do, everything that is a vibration. It attracts exactly what it is back to it. So if we are speaking our truth, which is a vibration, and if we are communicating honestly, which is a vibration, and if this is coming out of us, which are walking vibrations, we're going to attract exactly what we want into our life. But if we are inaligned or unaligned with some aspects of ourselves, that end result will not be so cohesive with what or who or where or when or why or how we are. And that, to me, was the most valuable lesson that I could learn at that time. And that is where the name throat chakra came from. For those who are unfamiliar, I'm going to keep it very brief. We have forever to talk about topics like this. But for now, let's consider our chakra system an internal energetic spinal cord with certain checkpoints that have swirling pools of energy that are there to filter or cleanse that specific area of our life. Each chakra holds a different responsibility, and the throat chakra, you can consider it the holder of self-expression, open communication, speaking our truth, creativity. It is the area from which we express ourselves or communicate. Another way to look at our chakra system is like our internal solar system. As above, so below. There's a universe above us, or that we are within, and we are a universe with things within us. And on that note, it wouldn't be in Jemmstone fashion to not pose a question. So until we meet again, which will be next Wednesday, my question to you is, are you speaking your truth? Are you communicating honestly? Are you living authentically? Is your life currently in fast forward? Is it in slow motion? And do you know why? Can you pinpoint? Are you at a place where you can pinpoint exactly why or have an idea as to why? I'm going to pose this question on my personal Instagram. Feel free to follow me. It's at JEMMSTONE_. That is Jemmstone_. I will pose the question there. Feel free to answer it. For so long, I have been looking for a world that I resonated with, that I felt I fit into. And for so long, I felt the opposite. Until one day, I recognized that I can build that myself. So throat chakra is a way for me to start building that. I'm doing it for myself, but if this resonates with you in any way, let's do this together. I feel like communication is necessary. Our world kind of has us Communicating in a way, yes, we're using social media, but, in a way where there can be a lot of pressure to have or to look a certain way. Really and truly, I just want to be me. And if that is something that resonates with you, then yeah, let's do that together. The next episode will happen next Wednesday. Until then, please take care of yourself and thank you for listening. My name is Jamira, but for brand continuity purposes, please feel free in calling me Gem or Jemmstone.